So I'm going to teach you one of the most life-changing realizations I ever had. Something which helped me work through years and years of just, sounds kind of deep, but self-hatred. This part of myself that I just absolutely despised and would be so hard on myself for, which was my perceived social awkwardness. Because for the best part of a decade, I looked at myself as someone who is I'm just an awkward freak. Things that other people take for granted, the ability to hold a conversation, those things are 10 times harder for me. They take much more effort. These things that come naturally to other people, for me, they just don't. Or at least that's what I believed, until I realized I'm not awkward. I'm in survival mode. I'm in survival mode when I should be in something I like to call play mode. So I'm going to explain this a little bit more, but first of all, let me tell you about the moment I realized what survival mode was, or the experience that made me start thinking about this in more detail. So I must have been like 17, and I was with this new group of friends that I had who'd really taken me in, and they would bring me along to like loads of cool events, like parties and stuff, because before that I'd been with this group of friends that didn't really treat me that well, and I was like the butt of all their jokes, and we never did anything outside of school. And I had many weekends just like sitting at home wishing I could have like more of a social life, and seeing people doing fun stuff on Instagram and Snapchat, and I'm just stuck at home with like the worst kind of FOMO. Or if my friend group at the time had been doing things, they just weren't inviting me. So this was like a very exciting but also uncomfortable period for me, going along to these things with like my new friends. So yeah, it was like this evening in town, like this free event everyone could go to. It was like they were putting on some fireworks. It was a fireworks show. But it's one of these things that just end up being an excuse for teenagers to just meet up and drink. And I was excited for this for a couple of reasons. The first one being that, you know, it was a chance to hang out with the guys. And the second being, my friend was inviting some girls along. He invited like 3 or 4 girls it was from like a girls' school. So we were from the boys' school and they were the girls. I think I've met these girls a few times before, but like I hadn't been able to even say a word to them. Like I was just fucking nervous inside, and I'd just been glued to my friend the whole time, like not really acknowledging them. And there's only so long you can go on without acknowledging people before it becomes awkward. And like we would have been in such a small group that night that it would have been impossible to like ignore them, or like that's what I would have said to myself. Yeah, I remember I had all these ideas, like I'm gonna be smooth, I'm gonna be the one talking to the girls, you know, they're gonna end up like loving me or something. Just all these delusional ideas. And I swear to you, man, we were out like 4 hours, and it was just the exact same shit. Absolutely glued to my friend's side. If we were walking together, the girls would be on this side, I'd make myself as like far away as possible from them. I'd put distance between us, because I was just so stuck in my head that my way of like getting through that was just avoidance. Because I've been like rehearsing lines in my head, like things I was gonna say that would convince them that I'm smooth or charming, but all of that just went straight out the window. And I think my backwards logic was, if I can't get it perfect, or I know I'm going to come across as a bit awkward, I'm just not going to say anything. And we'd be standing in a group, all of us together. I'd be like looking at the floor, like trying not to make eye contact with them. Probably came across really rude. But that was just like how I felt at the time. Like I just felt like a fuck up. I remember how physically uncomfortable I felt, like the anxiety, the stiffness, like not feeling like myself at all, like feeling like I was being watched. And I think this was the first time it really sunk into me, like, damn, I'm useless. I feel useless in social situations. I feel awkward. And that's when this kind of self-hatred really started to kick in. And I remember I felt like crying that night. Like I felt so helpless to change my situation. Like, how are you so bad at communicating? How are you so awkward? How has it gotten to this point? And I was really just feeling like so sorry for myself. And this is what I mean when I tell you the advice that I had, that I'm about to give you in this video. It really did change my life, because this was like a major source of depression for me. Like, I'm not joking. I just felt like so out of place in this world. Like, again, it felt like I had to put 100 times more effort into just basic communication than other people. Like, I just felt so far behind. So what I didn't understand until now was it was completely normal for me to feel like that in that situation. The only thing that's changed is the narrative that I tell myself now. So back then, I would have been saying things to myself like, you're useless, you're awkward, you have no social skills. Because that's how it felt, and that's probably how some of you guys feel maybe watching this. You just feel like there's something wrong with you. I understand where you're coming from. But this is not a problem with you. It's not a problem with your personality. You're not boring. You're not even necessarily awkward. And you certainly have social skills. Because I want you to think, like, if you had no social skills, then assuming you've got like at least a couple of people around you who you trust, like a good group of friends, or it could be family even, I'm willing to bet you're perfectly able to hold a conversation with them. And not just that, like, you probably have a fucking great time talking to them. You probably have your laughs, you probably have jokes that only make sense to you. You're not stressing about what to say next when it's a good friend or someone you trust. You're not consciously thinking, you know, when you're thinking like, oh, like, where am I going to take the conversation next? Am I going to have an awkward silence? That's not even a conscious thought in your head. It's just automatic. You have social skills when you're around your friends, when you're with people you trust, and you just get lost in fun conversation. So it's not a case of you not having social skills. What it is you're in survival mode. Your body does not feel safe in this environment around these new people, for me, around these girls. So survival mode is basically, it's what it sounds like. It's when your body is doing everything it can to keep yourself alive, because it senses you're in some kind of danger. In survival mode, you're sensing some kind of danger in your environment, in your immediate surroundings, and it's causing your body to lock up. Survival mode doesn't care about you coming across as a cool person, or charismatic, or funny. It doesn't care about any of that. And this is literally true, because it shuts down every area of your brain that you would typically use in a conversation. Things like your ability to tell a good story, or think of what to say next, or tell a good joke. Your humor centers in your brain. The things responsible for showing personality, expressing yourself, that come easy to you when you are feeling safe or when you're around your friends. Your brain shuts that down because all it can focus on is getting you out of a potentially dangerous situation. Now you're probably thinking, where is the danger coming from here? Like, what causes my body to just freeze up like this? I'm not in physical danger, surely. You're not, but your brain or your nervous system believes you might be in some form of emotional danger. I can't speak for everyone, but I know that I have this pattern that was built up through years of training, through years of like negative experiences in school, where around new people, I want to win their approval. I want to impress them. I want them to like me. I still have this today, and it's still a battle. But it comes from years of emotional pain in school, years of feeling humiliated. You know, when people just fucking bully each other in school, things like bullying, getting humiliated in front of the whole class, embarrassed. Even things like when I was very, very young, like 11, trying to make friends for the first time and people just fucking rejecting me. And feeling the pain of having no friends for like a good year or two. It's that part of me, it's those experiences that my nervous system has internalized. And it's what makes these experiences of meeting new people feel like life or death. Because on some level, even though it's not necessarily true for the current situation, my nervous system looks to the past and it says, if I don't win their approval right away, are they going to hurt me? If I don't have them think of me as a cool person, are they going to make fun of me? It's all about avoiding this pain that we felt in the past. If you come across as awkward in any way, or any of this sounds relatable to you, the reason you're awkward is your body's way of protecting you. You're in survival mode and you're having this anxiety. Anxiety is your body's, it's fight or flight. It's your body's way of telling you, decide now whether or not to get the fuck out of this situation. It's sensing some kind of danger in your environment. And usually it's the danger of, am I going to be judged? It's hard to talk about this so openly because it just makes me sound like I'm like really invested in other people's opinions. And it's not everyone, but it's just in certain situations that specifically trigger something in me from the past. But know that's where it comes from. It's all connected to the past. Lots of people have these like weird patterns, this like unresolved trauma from the past that causes them to go into survival mode. So if there's one thing you can take away from this, know that you're not awkward or you're not broken. You just feel like you're not safe. And that makes it impossible to not be awkward. So now I'm going to talk about an idea that I learned, which again has really saved me. And it's just really got me out of the trenches. And that's this idea of play mode, which is almost the opposite of survival mode. So I want you to think about something. Think about like an animal. Think about the animal kingdom. You know, you see them like little lion cubs playing around, or just some other animal, just cats in general, just like playing, dogs playing. It's kind of a weird example, but you'll only ever see animals playing or like having fun when they know they're safe, when they know there's no danger in their environment. When animals play, it's because they are feeling totally safe, totally able to relax. There's no threat here. And that's not just like a psychological thing. It's like there's biological impulses there saying, I can be safe here. And I almost feel like this is like a massive advantage for humans because we work the same way, but we haven't got threats of like physical danger. So, because even when it feels like we're in danger of like emotional pain or whatever, we're not actually in like true danger. So I find that there's moments where we can almost like switch from survival mode into this like more playful, relaxed state that I call play mode. Play mode is literally, it's the opposite of survival mode. I've got my notes here. It's feeling safe enough in your environment to let your natural personality out. It's the most expressive version of you. Like when you're like really tense and anxious, you get quieter, you get stiffer, you just become like a smaller version of yourself. Play mode is almost like the most free version of you. That version of you that is super comfortable making any joke. Like when you're around your friends, you're the biggest version of your personality. It's those times like when you're with a friend and you're just lost in a fun convo, you've forgotten that time's passed because you're having such a good time. Everything just seems like naturally funny. Like you're not taking anything too seriously, everything's funny. And you're also just not trying. Like it's coming easy. You're not trying to perform or impress anyone. And that's what play mode is really. It's instead of trying to impress other people or make any kind of impression, it's just like reminding yourself, like, I don't need to accomplish anything here. I can make a mistake because there's no goal I'm really trying to achieve. I'm not trying to get them. I'm not trying to impress them. If anything, I'm trying to impress myself. So play mode and just being in this playfulness, even if we can activate that just like 10% when we're feeling super tense, that can be enough to like just stop everything feeling so life or death, to bring down the sense of danger. If we can make ourselves laugh, again, like I said, it's sending biological impulses to your body that you can relax. Like, actually, maybe there's not danger here. Like, I've been feeling like there's danger, but there's not anything to really worry about. So some practical ways I like to go into this play mode state is we've almost got to think about it like an experiment. Like, it's like I said, there's no goal, there's nothing we have to achieve other than maybe just like having as much fun as possible. Like, what would happen if I just did this? Or what would happen if I made this joke? I'm not doing it to impress anyone, I just think it's kind of funny. I'm trying to impress myself, if anything. It's like just giving yourself permission to express your personality again after you've been like bottling it up for such a long time. So yeah, for me, it's just fixating on what I find funny about a particular situation. Or no, I think that's a good cue. It's like, first of all, it's seeing like the world around you as being there for your entertainment. Like, it sounds a little bit self-centered, but the world is here to make me laugh. Like, nothing's that serious that I should be feeling like this tense. It's just like this mental reminder, like the world is here to make me laugh. Like, what do I find funny in this moment? Just any little moment. You probably have things all the time that like you're on your own and you notice something funny and you laugh to yourself. Like, no one else is there. You're not looking for approval, you just found it funny. It's bringing that energy into your conversations. So again, nowadays I just kind of say and do whatever feels like it would entertain me in the moment. I don't want to get too specific here because I will get into this more in other videos. But yeah, just this whole mindset. Nothing is that serious for you to feel like super tense. The world is here for my amusement. What do I find funny about this particular moment? So yeah, try and bring that perspective with you into your conversations from here on out and see what happens. Take care, man.